Okay, we'll call the Village of Ashwaubenon Public Works and Protection Committee meeting for Tuesday, August 4th, 2020 to order. Roll call.
Mike Malczewski?
Here.
Joanne Euclid? She's here. Joanne, are you here?
The mic is still off.
Donovan Miller?
I'm here.
Okay.
Okay.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, you want to ensure that Ms. Euclid is online if you don't have a quorum at this time.
Joanne? Well, she's up there twice.
Do you hear me now?
Yep,
yeah.
we do. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry.
That's okay.
No problem.
Mike was muted.
It's customary to recite the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll take a motion on the agenda. We apparently do not have any changes, additions, deletions.
So moved.
Second.
Second, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Action on the minutes from Public Works and Protection Committee regular meeting, July 7th, 2020, 6:30 PM.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the July 7th, 6:30 PM Public Works and Protection Committee meeting. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. Comments from the public must be limited to items not on the agenda. You must state your name and address, limited to 5 minutes. The board's role is to listen and not discuss the item. Personnel issues cannot be discussed nor individuals named, and the board is not able to take action at this meeting. So, do we have any people from the general public?
He's on the agenda, though.
You're on the agenda.
I don't know. I don't know if the agenda is.
He is.
Is, okay. Okay. Action items, 7A, action on appeal of denied operator's license for Patrick Stittman. You want to come up?
Hello, Mr. Chairman. Before you is the application and letter of appeal from Patrick Stittman, who is appealing his operator license application denial. The application reflects the information as provided by the applicant, and the reason for the denial is rendered by Chief Yule. Also, for those in attendance this evening, you'll find a couple letters of recommendation on Mr. Stittman's behalf. Mr. Stittman is available if you have any questions for him.
So why was the denial issued?
It looks like you failed to disclose a felony DUI. And there's a few other issues here.
So there's been 4 DUIs? There's 3 listed here.
What Chief Yule has on the bottom of the denial.
Okay. Mr. Stittman? Name and address?
Patrick Stittman, 140 Alvina Street.
So we're here to listen.
Well, I work at two jobs in the Ashwaubenon district, one of them being at the Radisson Hotel. I've been there since 2013. In the letter, you'll see that. I've had over 14 positions there, but currently I haven't been there since COVID. Currently, I got a job at Aldi, also in Ashwaubenon. I started off as a temp, and then they just hired me on, and then offered me a shift manager position. I cannot take the shift manager position in Ashwaubenon unless I have a liquor license. There is no hard alcohol sold there, nor any open containers sold there, so I'm not physically serving anything. It is a big difference as far as, I'm also going back to school for operational management at NWTC. Getting that manager position at both jobs with obviously higher pay would ease the burden on bills. As well, I wouldn't have to work as much and focus more on my studies. So it's really important, big deal. I feel like I've worked really hard over the past couple of years. Paid my debt, and I'm just working really hard to go even farther right now.
So I don't see any dates on other than the years 2013, 2014, 2016. Has there been another OWI since 16?
No.
There has not? Okay. And the reason that you didn't include the 4th on the form?
I don't know. Honestly, I thought it would all be on there. Whenever it gets pulled up either way. So I want to do just the latest ones, I suppose. But no, I don't
Okay.
really have a clear answer of why the 4th is not on there.
So the one that's not listed was prior to 2013?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Do you know what year that was?
What's that?
Do you know what year that was?
2011, maybe. They were all that range, yeah. I don't know off the top of my head, it was so long ago.
It's okay.
But yeah, I've done everything I need to do. I'm not paying for it no more, and so.
And you said you need the license for
In order to be
the
a
current
manager
job at
grocery
Aldi?
store. Yeah,
Okay.
I don't think I have any other questions,
Okay.
really.
Joanne, any questions?
I would just make a comment to Mr. Stittman. This committee knows how I feel about people with 4 DWIs, but you're the exception to this. I read your letter. I was very impressed with what you're trying to do to improve your life. And right now, I'm really undecided how I'm going to vote on this. I'm going to take the police chief's recommendation and your letter and weigh it very heavily. Thank you for appearing in front of us.
absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. If there's no further questions, I'll entertain a motion
A motion.
to,
I'll motion to approve.
okay. I'll second that. We have a motion and a second to approve the appeal of the denied operator's license for Patrick Stittman. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No.
As we have a limited amount of committee members, the ayes have it. Motion passes.
Thank you. Second.
And then this item will go to the village board at the end of the month
Right.
Which you should.
for final
I will
discussion.
be there.
Yeah.
Sure. I will for sure be there. Second.
Okay.
You're good.
Thank you.
7B, action on premise description amendment, Titletown Sports Service, Inc., doing business as Titletown.
Mr. Chairman and committee members, before you is a request from The Turn, which is located on the first floor of 1025 Lombardi Avenue, as part of the Titletown Sports Service, Inc. They've requested to amend their current license to include a curbside pickup area, which is indirectly of the facility. As noted before you is the 21 feet in length by 10 feet wide, which equates to 1 parking space. There's signage for that, dedicated to that area, and it's, as noted, dedicated for the fulfillment of carry-out food orders, which may include the purchase of original prepackaged alcoholic beverages. This is, falls in line to what the previous owner of Applebee's did in the past, Pick and Save in the past. Everything's in order.
Okay.
This digital this did go before the chief. He looked at it also.
Okay.
And no issues.
And this fits our latest,
I think a lot of folks are looking at this due to the COVID-19 scenario, whatever opportunities they can develop as far as revenue streams, people are looking at it.
okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I could just say I drove by today and I saw exactly what it was. And you're going to have the parking for the restaurant there, so that's all they're really being affected by is their own parking essentially. It is open to everybody, but I would motion to approve this as well.
Okay. We have,
Second.
we have a motion and a second to approve the premise description amendment for Titletown Sports Service, Inc., doing business as Titletown. All in favor?
That's aye.
Aye.
Mo- Unanimous consent, motion passes. 7C, North Road no parking sign, discussion. Mark?
Mark Williams, trustee, Ward 7 and 8 here in Ashwaubenon. Tonight, I'm bringing forward a request from neighbors on North Road, right at the corner where North Road turns west, right along the highway. A few years back, we changed an ordinance there to change no parking on the south and east side of North Road. And the residents there brought things forward to me that they'd like to see it changed back to the west side, west and north sides of North Road because of hazards walking across the road, or not walking across the road by the sight vision, basically, of parking on that north side with a full, on the other side of the road is a full lane, basically, that you can be off the road and not be obstructing any cars down there at all. The downside to it, and the reason that public safety wanted it changed, is because they have to walk across North Road. But because the parking is on the north side and the west side of North Road right now, it obstructs the view coming around that corner, they feel, and they'd like to see it changed back the way it was. So, I mean, we're in a predicament where the residents would like to see it so that they're off the road and have, you know, better vision for the people coming around there, versus public safety would rather see it so that they don't have to cross the road. So that's the dilemma, and there are people here tonight that they can talk to it about it, that live in that area, and I'll let, you know, Mr. Joslin talk about it, and I think I explained it properly, correct?
Oh, you got part of it, yes.
Come on up.
Yeah. Name and address for the record.
Bob Joslin, 1260 North Road.
Go ahead.
I've been, give you a little synopsis. I've been living in that area for 49 years. And the road has changed a lot in the years. Because at one time, that road used to go to the high school. 41 went down to Ashland. So then it changed what it is now, basically. And also 172 came in after that. And I had permission to park over there over the years from Mr. Watermelon and Chief Konopacki. Only on the shoulder of the road. We didn't have any problem with the park when it was, the curb stopped. We strictly used the shoulder to park. And one of my neighbors got a ticket about a year ago for parking over there. And I asked the question to several people why all of a sudden that we can't park there. And the signs didn't go up until after that ticket was issued. The signs, say from the insurance office east, were always there. the sign from the shoulder of the road part was not there. And I have a number of trailers. I do haul wood in and out. I burn wood in the fireplace. And my trailers, I have a car hauler that's 8 foot wide. If I park it on the north side, people come around the curve, they're looking at me like I shouldn't be there. And also my wife did work for Lamers, and she retired from there in 17. Now, I did not know that the ordinance was changed in 2014. If you read online, it says prohibited parking on both sides of North Road. That's still on the internet or still online.
Okay.
Now, I had to talk to Mr. Martin to get an updated paper showing 2014. But I use that shoulder to prevent issues. Now, as far as people walking across the street, we have walkers in the morning. We have kids on bikes all the time using that road. And half the time the kids don't even let a car go by. Give them an example, what I mean? And my neighbor east of me, Lloyd, has a large family, and I tell them to park in my other driveway. So his driveway isn't full. So they used to park across the street and not have an issue. So I did probably ruffle some feathers talking to different people at the time when I went to ask the prior chief the question. And then I went to Public Works, not the man on the road, about it. And my voice might have got to him. But sometimes my voice does sound like I'm mad at somebody. I'm not really, but anyway, I would like to see that area back open on the shoulder of the road. I don't care about the part where it's got the curb and gutter. And there's 18 foot from the center line to my curb. There's 11 feet on the other side for the shoulder, up to the shoulder. And there's another possible 8 to 10 feet past on the shoulder. So you're well out of traffic. And as far as people issues, we have people walking that sometimes at 5, 6 in the morning on either side of the road. And it's just the convenience, for my case, to park on the shoulder, not on this side. When the wife parked her school bus on the north side, there was people complaining that she was parked there. They never complained to the officers, but they just complained to Lamers, why is she parked there? When she used to park across the street on the shoulder. But now she's retired from there. So that's not an issue anymore. But I myself, I still like to use that side because there's times I come in and want to change something in my driveway, which I have 2 car hauling trailers. I have a trailer that's a 6 foot wide, 12 foot long hydraulic lift that I would like to put on the road once in a while. And never overnight, don't get me wrong on that. It's usually put back in when I'm done what I'm doing. It's like bring in wood, I cut it, split it, pile it on pallets. And so that's where I'm kind of where at by asking about that parking in that area. Now, I don't know, back in when they changed the road, my neighbor and I, Jane Rasmussen, which is 1270 North Road, were supposed to be a cul-de-sac there. That was the first, when they changed the road. Well, that didn't happen. Then when they increased North Road going to the airport, per se, to Babcock, they put industrial on one side and normal duplexes or houses on the other side. My house used to belong to the Stonebrook Farms, which was on top of the hill. And I bought that back in 70, 71. And all the improvements went through, of course, curb and gutter and everything else. Now, I have when they changed it in 14, were they thinking about that, the overpass that they wanted to put in? For have no parking along that stretch? See, I don't know this,
Probably, yes.
but it didn't happen. So, I think that's basically what I have on it. And I would use it the most, obviously, to prevent issues coming around the curb. Because there's times my trailers are approximately 8 foot wide, and they're legally parked next to the curb, and usually with a truck on them. So that usually parks pretty good across the street. And as far as issues with walking across, they're walking across in there anyway, especially when school time. Kids on bikes and runners. I had a runner come through this morning at a little after 6. That's when I put the paper up for my neighbor Jane. I put her up to her house for her because she has an MS issue. Same with her mail come winter time. I bring it up to the house for her. And anyway, that's what I have on it. I would just like to see it back open in that area. Nice, Lloyd is here, the neighbor on one side of me, but I don't see the rest of the neighbors. Jane would not come, but she doesn't want to go with any people around. And she's septic to easy getting sick and things.
No,
So she wouldn't be here. Besides, she doesn't use that over there anyway.
okay.
But there's about 6, I believe, 6 people that would possibly use it over there on that curve, if my list is correct on the map and things. And the one that was ticketed, I think he's 3 doors down. He just parked his car there. And I asked him, how come you got a ticket? And he says, well, I was parked there. And he says, no parking. But there was no sign in that area. The signs went up after.
Okay.
And I also, Mr. Martin said that. It went up after he got the ticket. So I think I covered everything so that I had on myself here.
Okay.
And I was a member of this department, 34 years as a paid on-call fireman.
Oh,
I retired 4 years, 5 years ago, whatever. So I know usually how it works.
so has there been any accidents there?
No.
There has not.
Oh, well, I would say, I'm dating myself, about 25 years back, a person under the influence came by us heading west and ended up in the manhole right where the concrete slab starts, where the concrete curb starts. And he was quite injured badly because we had to physically cut him out of the car. And he had 2 broken legs when he did it. So he was going at a high rate around through a curb by us. And he didn't get to the next curb by the insurance office just before that. But that's a long time back. Other than that, none.
Okay.
None that I know of. And I would probably know him because I used to have a scanner all the time
Yeah.
for being on call. So,
Okay.
so
So, Mr. Martin, give us some enlightenment from your position.
I think the summary that was given beforehand explains most of it. The reasons why the recommendations came forward and the no parking was changed in 2014 was based off of input public safety received from calls of concerns of the safety in that area when people are coming around, heading southbound, going around the blind curve there and coming into that area where they had people. There was the calls that were received were from people parking in that shouldered area, walking across, and the concerns from the motorists at that time were that they didn't want to see that conflict point there, if you will, when they're coming around the corner and seeing people at that location. As I mentioned to Mr. Joslin, it was 2014 when this ordinance went through. It was on the highway side, I guess is the best way to describe it, of North Road through that area. He is correct. In our ordinance right now, as everybody knows, that went through a recodification a couple of years ago, and we found areas in the ordinance that need correction. What we're thinking, because it states that it's no parking on both sides of the road from Cormier to Shady. The way it is signed and enforced right now is on the highway side only, the south and east sides. What we're thinking is that it was no parking on both sides from Cormier Road down to Gerhart, and it was supposed to remain on the south and east sides from there forth. It's a correction that can be made. The only way it's enforced currently is how it is signed, and it's signed on the highway side. Staff from both Public Works and I don't want to speak for Public Safety, but from Public Safety would be in support of keeping the ordinance as is on the highway side, no parking.
Okay.
From our standpoint, we agree with Doug Martin here. We don't want to see any changes made to what currently is there now.
Well, all I can say is when I start parking my stuff on the north side of the highway, if they come around and hit me, it's not going to be my fault. That's where I'm at. Because I have, like I said, vehicles I'm going to park there.
Is there any way to do parking permits there at all? So he can use the shoulder? Does that have any?
We don't issue parking permits, to my knowledge.
Okay.
Because coming around that curve, when I'm parked there, they come around pretty fast.
No, I know. You bet. Yeah.
Yeah, I drove through there again today as well, just to see it, and I see your side of it. I don't know if walking across the street's going to be as much of a benefit for you, but I know what you're saying. You park your bigger equipment, and I do see the gravel's been, I don't know if it was modified or not, but.
No, it was never
extra,
modified. It's always been that length.
it's extra wide there, so I do see where you could find a value in it. That is a tight corner, though. That is one thing that I observed. I've driven through there many times going to high school myself for sporting events and things. That whole road, there's a lot of parking on, and generally most cars are on the center line when they drive through there because the stretch of duplexes, there's always cars parked out. So it is a tight road all the time, and I do know that corner. People seem to pick up speed there for some reason.
Was part of the decision to change it in 2014 because of game day traffic?
With the game day traffic, we do try and route traffic down that road more, and that's one of the avenues also as alternate route. So with that, it does carry a lot more traffic on game day. We want the game day buses and things to start using that to alleviate some traffic off of Cormier. So you're going to see a lot more traffic, and obviously over the past years, you probably have seen that.
Okay. Joanne, any questions?
I'm just wondering if we can't do some kind of compromise and maybe make it no parking certain days of the week, like when the kids aren't around, if that would be a possibility?
What's our engineer and?
Excuse me? That wouldn't be our recommendation.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So basically.
Unfortunately, and I see Mr. Joslin and the neighbors' viewpoint on this. Unfortunately, probably the safest alternative of this is to have no parking at all on the street through that area.
Okay.
And I think over the years, there's been, whether actually done with intent or not, I think there has been some compromise over the years with additional driveway usage, parking on one side or the other. My honest opinion is the absolute safest avenue here is no parking on both sides.
Okay.
I think the compromise is keeping some parking in front of the houses on one side, unfortunately. I know that's not what we want to hear, but if we take a step back and look at the situation here without feelings on it, if you will, that would actually be the safest route.
Okay.
Understanding a compromise would be to have parking on that north side.
Doug, what is the speed limit from Cormier to around that neighborhood right now?
25.
25 through that area.
So we got 25 miles an hour from Cormier around that curve and everything through the residential neighborhood, but yet it's safe enough for us to put it at 35 miles an hour down Hanson Road from Oneida Street right into a residential neighborhood as well. I think that with the speed limits that we have in there, that it more than deserves to have the parking reestablished on the other side of the road because of the speed limits that are in there right now. If people are coming speeding through there faster than what they're supposed to, let's put something there to stop the speeding then, because it makes sense to, with that wide shoulder there, to get the cars off the street so that you don't have them have the issue coming around there on the residential side with blocking a road of traffic right there. That's my feeling on it. And I lived right there for years and years and years, right behind Mr. Joslin. So now I moved down the road a ways, but I mean, it's still, I believe that it's safer on the other side of the road myself. So I just thought I'd throw that in there.
Okay. Well, we need a motion.
Well,
Yeah. You folks want to talk? Do you want to speak?
Could you come up
Yeah.
here, please? And use a mic, thank you.
Name and address.
My name is Lloyd Bunker. I live at 1250 North Road, next to Bobby. I've been there for 32 years. And we sit up out of our garage, and you look at the traffic that goes by there, and you got parking on the right side where you got curb, but that only leaves you about 8 feet for the traffic to come through there, and you're coming through at 50 miles an hour. We got grandkids that come over to the house, and if they step out, they're gonna get hurt. And when you sit and look across the street, you got extra 11 feet of space, you could park, and you still got 18 feet of the street available for cars to pass through there. And when you sit there and look at it, damn it makes common sense to park on the south side than on the north side. Makes common sense to me. But I'm an old man, so that's all I had to say.
Okay, appreciate that.
But you're right about the speeds. You never know how fast they're going.
Right.
Yeah, then the bad part is they give you the finger, they swear at you, they could call you all the F names, and they're breaking the law, and you're not, that.
Yep.
Well, you back out of your yard, right? You look to the left, there's nothing there. Look to the right, look back to the left, boom, there's a horn there blowing, making an ass out of you, that's.
Well, yeah, any more than once. That's why my vehicle is always backed in. I have a clear shot out to make sure that I see what's coming. The wife, well,
I just think that if somebody spends some time in looking at the situation, it's just common sense, that the south side is more available and better parking for anybody, But that's all I got to say.
Okay.
well, I personally feel like I would stick with the public police department's opinion and keep the parking on one side of that road, to have vehicles fishtailing back and forth between parked cars on each side of the road. If I were to make a motion, it would be to deny.
Okay. You want to put that in a motion form?
Motion to deny, please.
All right, I'll second that. We have a motion to deny the North Road no parking circumstance. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. We are going to carry on as it has been in the past.
Okay. Just- When my stuff gets hit, I want to let the village handle it.
Well, this has been discussed at Public Works and at Bicycle and Pedestrian too, quite a bit. So I'm aware of the situation there.
Because I get all of it there. And one motorcycle came through last night, he was damn near doing 80 come through there.
No, I hear you. The drivers are terrible, and there's no consequence. Items for next agenda. We're going to have a special meeting before the next village board meeting for probably 5 minutes in length to work on a single item that didn't get into the agenda today on time. With that, we can have an adjournment motion.
Motion to
So
adjourn.
moved.
We have motion to, and second to adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
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 We stand adjourned. Thank you all.